Can you imagine waking up tomorrow and the internet is just gone? No Google, no YouTube, no Instagram, no online banking, no Zoom calls, not even emails. Sounds terrifying, or maybe a little peaceful. The truth is, we're so deeply wired into the internet that living offline feels more like time travel than a lifestyle. What happens when we pull the plug? Could we survive without it, or are we already too far gone? Let's rewind a bit. The internet wasn't always here. In fact, just a few decades ago, people were living full, complex lives offline. They navigated with paper maps, bought CDs to hear music, mailed handwritten letters, memorized phone numbers, and if they didn't know something, they'd ask a human being or go to a library. Back then, scrolling meant rolling down your window, and streaming referred to a river. You know what? People were still creating, building, connecting, and thriving. But now the internet is like oxygen. Every part of modern life is stitched into it. So what would really happen if we took it away and First, let's talk communication. Today, if someone doesn't reply in 2 minutes, we panic. In the offline world, you sent a letter and waited days, sometimes weeks, and no one freaked out. Relationships were slower, yes, but often deeper. Conversations happened in person. Emotions weren't replaced with emojis, and birthdays weren't remembered because Facebook reminded you, but because you actually remembered them. Education without the internet, it sounds like punishment now, but students once survived without Google or ChatGPT. They flipped through textbooks, scribbled in notebooks, and asked their teachers. Sure, it took longer, but it also built patience, memory, and real research skills. Today, we type a question, copy-paste an answer, and forget it 5 minutes later. Entertainment would take a massive hit. No Netflix, no Spotify, no endless YouTube rabbit holes. But think about this. Before the internet, families watched movies together on TV. Kids played outside instead of binge-watching cartoons. Music came from radios, cassettes, or actual instruments. And boredom wasn't solved by doom scrolling. It sparked creativity. Kids made up games, adults read books, people actually stared at sunsets instead of screens. But let's be real, the internet isn't just fun and memes, it's also our lifeline. Imagine no online banking, no e-commerce, no digital payments. Suddenly you're standing in a long queue just to withdraw cash. Shopping, back to crowded markets, booking tickets, manual, sharing documents, couriers, everything slows down, and not in a cute vintage way, but in a frustrating snail-paced nightmare. Work and business would collapse overnight, remote jobs vanish, emails become phone calls, digital marketing gone, Zoom meetings, sorry you're back in traffic, entire industries would sink, freelancers, influencers, online educators, crypto traders, they'd all be wiped out, and job hunting? Forget LinkedIn, you better print out your resume and walk door to door. Even healthcare relies on the internet now. Appointments are booked online. Doctors meet patients over video calls. Medical records are stored digitally. Without it, we go back to paper files and handwritten prescriptions. Less efficient, more mistakes, slower help. But here's a question. Would life actually be better in some ways? Social media is the biggest double-edged sword. Yes, it connects us, but also disconnects us from the real world. Without it, maybe we'd stop comparing our lives to highlight reels. Maybe we'd talk more, scroll less, maybe fewer people would feel like failures just because they don't look like influencers or aren't going viral. Mental health might improve. A 2023 study showed that constant internet use is linked to anxiety, depression, and sleep disorders. Imagine logging off permanently. Your mind might finally get a break. You might stop feeling the urge to be productive 24/7. You might actually rest. But here's the plot twist. Most of us can't afford to live offline, literally. Banking, schooling, government services, jobs, navigation, news, everything's online. In fact, not having access to the internet today puts you at a disadvantage. It's no longer a luxury, it's a basic utility, just like water and electricity. Yet, ironically, the same tool meant to free us is now enslaving us. We can't focus, we can't sit still, we can't sleep. We've lost our attention spans, our patience, and often our sense of presence. We reply with gifs instead of words. We scroll through life instead of living it, and we're always connected, yet constantly alone. So the question isn't just can we survive without the internet? The real question is, are we surviving with it? Imagine for a second a world where we balance both, where we use the internet as a tool, not a trap, where we spend an hour online and the rest offline, where we stop measuring our worth in likes, followers and views, and start measuring it in real joy, peace and purpose. What if we took weekends off the web? What if dinner time meant no phones? What if we read a book instead of scrolling through feeds of people we don't even talk to? It might not be easy, but maybe, just maybe, it would make us feel human again. Because here's the truth, the internet won't disappear, but our ability to enjoy life beyond it, that's already fading. The more we plug in, the more we unplug from ourselves. So, can we live without the internet? Maybe not fully, but can we live better by not letting it control us? Absolutely. Now here's a challenge for you. Try spending just 1 hour today completely offline. No phone, no laptop, just you, your thoughts and the world around you. Feels impossible? That's exactly why you should try. And if this made you think, don't forget to share it with someone who really needs to unplug. Subscribe for more videos that actually make you feel something, offline and online.